Hello, dear adventurers. Welcome back to the TaleTailers channel. Let's start our series, The Quantum Guardians, Chronicles of the Multiverse. Episode 1, Quantum Awakening. Alex was a normal college student, studying physics and astronomy at the University of California, Berkeley. He had a passion for exploring the mysteries of the universe and dreamed of becoming a scientist someday. One night, he was working on his final project for his quantum mechanics class. He had built a device that could measure the quantum state of a photon using a laser, a beam splitter, and 2 detectors. He wanted to test the famous double-slit experiment, which showed that light behaved as both a wave and a particle, depending on how it was observed. He turned on the device and aimed the laser at the beam splitter, which divided the light into 2 paths. One path went through a slit on the left, and the other path went through a slit on the right. The 2 paths then recombined at a screen, where they formed an interference pattern, indicating that the light acted as a wave. Alex then placed one detector near each slit to see which path the photon took. According to quantum theory, this should collapse the wave function and make the light act as a particle, erasing the interference pattern. However, something unexpected happened. As soon as Alex turned on the detectors, he felt a strange sensation in his head. He saw a flash of light and heard a loud noise. He felt like he was being pulled in 2 directions at once. He looked at the screen and saw that the interference pattern was still there, but it was distorted and flickering. He looked at the detectors and saw that they were both showing readings, indicating that the photon had gone through both slits simultaneously. He realized that he had somehow created a quantum superposition where the photon existed in 2 states at once. He wondered what would happen if he tried to observe it more closely. He reached for one of the detectors, but as soon as he touched it, he felt another jolt of pain in his head. He saw another flash of light and heard another noise. He felt like he was being split into 2 versions of himself. He opened his eyes and saw that he was in 2 places at once. He was still in his lab, holding one detector, but he was also in another lab, holding another detector. He looked around and saw that everything was slightly different in each lab. The colors were different, the furniture was different, even the people were different. He realized that he had somehow created a quantum entanglement, where his state was linked to the state of the photon. He wondered what would happen if he tried to communicate with his other self. He spoke to himself in both labs, but as soon as he did, he felt another shock in his head. He saw another flash of light and heard another noise. He felt like he was being multiplied into many versions of himself. He opened his eyes and saw that he was in many places at once. He was still in his lab and in another lab, but he was also in many other labs, each one slightly different from the others. He looked around and saw that everything was vastly different in each lab. The technology was different, the history was different, even the physics was different. He realized that he had somehow created a quantum multiverse, where his state was linked to the state of many photons. He wondered what would happen if he tried to control them. He thought of changing something in one of the labs, but as soon as he did, he felt another surge in his head. He saw another flash of light and heard another noise. He felt like he was being transformed into something else. He opened his eyes and saw that he was no longer human. He was a being of pure energy, composed of countless photons. He looked around and saw that he could see everything in every lab, every universe, every dimension. He realized that he had somehow become a quantum guardian, a protector of the multiverse. He wondered what would happen if he tried to save it. He sensed a danger approaching from somewhere beyond his perception. He felt a presence that was hostile and powerful. He knew that it was an enemy that wanted to destroy him and everything else. He prepared to face it with all his might. He knew that this was his destiny, to be continued. Hope you like Episode 1, Quantum Awakening video from our series, The Quantum Guardians, Chronicles of the Multiverse. Thank you all. We'll see you in upcoming videos. Hey there! I hope you've been enjoying the content on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please consider to click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to me, and it helps the channel grow. Thanks for being a part of our community.